All right, everybody. Sorry about that. Having to get everything set up here. So we got some strong thunderstorms out there. Just wanted to mention that. Got a nice time lapse footage of that thunderstorm there before it moved in. So I've got that currently working on getting that uploaded. Anyway, right now though, let's take a look at Doppler radar. We do have a strong thunderstorm. Of course, we got one coming over Crossville here too. Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms along a line extending from near Morgan City to near Arab to 6 miles east of Strawberry, moving to the north at 25 miles per hour. Wind gusts 40 miles per hour or greater. Areas impacted: Grant, Valamoso Springs, Guntersville, Marshall Space Flight Center, Hampton Cove, Redstone Arsenal, Columbus City, Morgan City, Eddy, and Lacey Springs. So give me just a second while I connect my radio online. Station 28 Skywarn to all stations. Be advised there is a special weather statement in place for Marshall County. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour or greater. Areas impacted by that will be Grant, Valamoso Springs, Guntersville, Marshall Space Flight Center, Hampton Cove, Redstone Arsenal, Columbus City, Morgan City, Eddy, and Lacey Springs. Station 28 clear, 424. Standing by.
10-4.
All right, so let's look at Crossville here. We've got a thunderstorm. There is some hail in it. I'm seeing just to the northwest of Crossville. Looks like that'll be around north of County Road 24, approaching County Road 28. All right, sorry about that. I got a lot of messages coming in. So we do have some hail in this little shower here. Thunderstorm. Wouldn't be surprised to see a special weather statement needed for this one here pretty shortly too. Right now, though, looking at Marshall County, very heavy rainfall moving across the county there. Anywhere from looks like that's I believe that's County Road 69 and to the north around Union Grove, along County Road 50, all the way north to 431, and that lightning strike was close. Very close. Sorry about that. Got some hail showing up on it as well. Looks like that's going to be moving to the north, kind of toward the incline area in Marshall County, northwestern portions there of Marshall County, near south of Owens Crossroads. Let me close this door real quick. The dogs are going crazy over that lightning strike. Sorry about that. And I'll unplug my antenna real quick so it'll decharge out of any static buildup that might be up on it. Don't need it getting hit. But anyway, north of Guntersville, some very heavy thunderstorm activity, but the heaviest that I see is to the northwest here. It's going to be, again, toward the incline area, the northwest portion of Marshall County. I'm trying to get our velocity up here. I do see some gusty winds in several parts of this storm here. Looks like that northwest portions of Marshall County about to enter in. I believe that's going to be into the Madison County area that it's going to be entering into. Some high winds there, maybe 40 to 50. And also some gusty winds here if you're traveling to the northwest of Guntersville, north of Warrington, around the Mount Carmel area, Manchester area, even Neighbors Mill, some real high winds coming through there. Looks like they're going to be approaching Black Center, Cottonville, Holiday Shores area. That'll be going crossing Highway 431, moving north. Just a big old batch of this near New Hope. I'll be approaching them pretty shortly. No warnings with it though, and also Owens Crossroads area. Don't want to leave them out. That's going to be outside of Marshall County, of course. But Owens Crossroads area, all this coming your way. Looking at this storm over us, do see some signs of maybe some gusty winds. Sorry about that. Looking at the comments here. Again, around Crossville, some gusty winds coming in. Looks like it'll be approaching my area in a few moments. Looks like around Geraldine next. All this moving off to the north. And this is the batch that I was talking about that could potentially be severe. Looks like it may have came in a little bit earlier, but we're not done yet. We still got some extra pop-ups coming through, so we'll keep an eye on it. Nothing warned at this time, but there is some heavy rain moving in and maybe some gusty winds. We're just now getting some 5-mile-per-hour winds out of the west-southwest. But still, special weather statement in effect for Marshall County. This will be moving to the north, so portions of western Jackson County might be put under a special weather statement. Depending on these strong winds, I do see a little bit of a bow out on that, which could definitely be a sign of some gusty winds. And there they are. So moving to the north, again around possibly Grant will probably be getting some of this. Looks like Grant will be getting some of this. New Hope also, of course, and Owens Crossroads. New Hope just outside of Marshall County. Just want to give you a heads up, though. Grant, of course, looks like inside of Marshall County. So that's what we're kind of watching, just the thunderstorms develop. Hopefully nothing will be severe. We did have some warnings go out earlier. Also seeing a little storm north of Albertville showing some signs of hail in it. That one is moving off to the north. And looks like it is around 431 moving north toward Rose Road. Currently right just about over Rose Road, currently in George Wallace Drive. That'll continue to the north toward Alder Springs. So that one, there's some embedded hail in it. So be careful if you're traveling. Lots of heavy rain, torrential rainfall of this stuff. So let's look at the comments real quick. Fort Payne, nothing up there yet. That will change for sure. Watching what Trenton, Georgia, Sand Mountain. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Not a problem. Glad I can do it. Hello, Mike. Just saw you come up there. Hope you're doing well over there in Eider. I didn't ask you how things went, as I know a tornado came pretty close to Eider. If I ain't mistaken, it was on the ground when it went through there. No, this was not a named tropical storm. It's just an area of low pressure. It wasn't a tropical system. But something I want to mention again to everybody, I've been talking about it for about a week now. We're watching the end of this week, later on into this week. Of course, models showed the threat of maybe some severe storms this week, and of course that's verified. But looking further on, we will get some sunny skies around Wednesday and Thursday, and then by Friday we have some more storm systems coming in, and we could be starting out on a ramp up with the storms around here. Severe weather probability, unfortunately, could be ramping up. Some of the models have been pretty consistent with it, so just want to mention that as we get on later into the week next week, could be starting to look at a ramp up with the severe weather, unfortunately. Reed Timmer already talking all about that, so that's interesting. And he'll be coming to Huntsville, too, by the way. I wish I could go to Huntsville. I'd like to meet him myself, but he'll be coming to Huntsville at some point. I shared that on my page, so it'd be an interesting thing for sure to see. If anyone happens to go up there, okay, if he was to happen to go to Huntsville when the event is, please get his signature for me. I really, really appreciate it. I'm a big fan of Reed, and I probably won't get to go up there. So if you do go and get his signature, please grab me one. I'd appreciate it. So far, so good. I am still seeing some high winds, even some hail now starting to show up on the eastern portion of this storm. Looks like that's kind of heading toward the Grant area. Maybe just a little bit to the west of Grant at this point, but it definitely would move into Grant because we got some extra development ahead of it. This storm with hail still showing up north of Albertville, so be careful driving out there. This one has a nice, interesting look on it, and I'm looking at my secondary radar here, so bear with me. I just now realized that I'm using a secondary radar. Zoom that in. Nice little hail showing up there, crossing 431 in Marshall County. That's going to the north around Pine Shores and Honeycomb Park, near Bucksnort. That's the next place in the path of that, as well as, of course, Half Acre Estates. Some nice hail showing up there, less than quarter size currently. Let me back it up here and look at my other radar here, secondary. And there is, of course, where that hail core is, there is just a bit of broad, very broken up area of broad rotation. Seeing some higher winds too. This storm is showing me signs that it is increasing. So we've got 35 to 40 mile per hour winds showing up on our secondary radar here. And that thing's right on top of Cottonville and Holiday Shores, moving to the north. So Honeycomb Park, Pine Shores area, and then Bucksnort eventually will be getting some of this. And when I said a broken up area, really broken up area, nothing of concern at this point, just really broken up area there. You know, I have always wondered what this tool was, and I just now figured it out. Okay, so sorry about that. Station 28 Skywarn, anyone out there got any reports of hail anywhere around Pine Shores area? Looks like along 431 near Holiday Short Route. Florida Short Route, I'm sorry. I had to take another look at that. That's moving to the north around Pine Shores, Shady Acres, and Honeycomb Park. And eventually be moving on toward the Bucksnort area, maybe Grant. It's a little bit west of that right now, southwest. Any reports of hail? Oh. Station 28 Skywarn, standby, severe thunderstorm warning. National Weather Service in Huntsville.
It's actually sunny in Marshall County as we speak.
Copy, standby. Severe thunderstorm warning issued out for north central Marshall and northeast Alabama, western Jackson County and northeast Alabama, and eastern Madison County and north central Alabama. 60 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter size hail. Station 28 clear. So we do have a new warning up. Let me get my equipment hooked up here.
Hazard 60 miles per hour wind gusts and quarter size hail. Source radar indicated. Impact hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Paint Rock, Grant, Skyline, Princeton, Lynrock, Stillfork, Woodville, High Top, and Columbus City. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 5:30 p.m. Central.
Station 28 Skywarn, wanted to advise Jackson County is under that warning as well. And that's going to be for the western portion of Jackson County. At 4:35 moments ago, severe thunderstorm was located near the Grant area, 9 miles north of Guntersville. It's moving off to the north at 25 miles per hour. Some 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible, and some quarter size hail. Areas impacted would be Bass, Paint Rock, Grant, Skyline, Princeton, Lynrock, Estel Fork, Woodville, and High Top, also Columbus City. Okay, bear with me. I'm working on getting this text changed out here. Okay, that is definitely got to be spaced out. There we go. Everything looks to be north of Boaz and Iberville currently, but let me get back to the radar to make double sure of it. Well, there is some showers and thunderstorms now developing around Boaz, so you do have some heavy rain, maybe some thunder, lightning. Nothing severe with any of these storms. Same with over to DeKalb County. Nothing severe with any of these, but we're watching this area here that's been bowing out. Been watching that for a little bit. It's moving on off kind of to the northeast.
Marshall County Sky 1. Currently, there is a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Marshall, Madison, and Jackson counties. The cell that currently being looked at is actually to the southwest of Grant, traveling north-northeast. So it'll track across the Grant area or just to the slight west of Grant over the next few minutes. We are expecting it to get into that area within the next 10 minutes. Looking for reports from that area or additional check-ins for significant weather reports. I know there are some other cells in the county, but that's the one we're concerned about at this time.
Net control, would you mind checking in? Kilo Oscar 4 Foxtrot Uniform November. That's KO4FUN. Nice, Chris in Crossville.
Okay, Chris, got you in there. Right now, most everything is north of you anyway. Kind of surrounding you a little bit, but most of it's north, headed in that general direction. KD4 Vigilance.
Roger that. Looking at it on radar here. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. This is KO4FUN.
KI4JJB.
Go ahead.
All right, so Grant, you look like you're going to get some of this. Right over the Bucksnort area, some hail falling, potentially quarter-size hail. Also moving toward Grant. It is taking just a little bit of a northeasterly turn, just a little bit toward Grant. So Grant, you'll have this here in the next few minutes. Areas impacted looks like Cottonville. Let me make sure y'all can see that. So I don't know if the radar has. Nope, it definitely has shifted on me. So bear with me to get that fixed. I will resize it. For some reason, it's got way out of whack here. There we go. Oh, nope.
Do you know if North Alabama Southern Tennessee Sky 1 is activated?
I don't think they have. I've been watching the scope on my radio, and I'm not seeing any activity. I'll switch this radio over, but I'll leave an HT on this frequency so I can communicate with you. So I'll switch over that check.
A pretty mean-looking storm now, taking a northeasterly turn. I'm going to have to adjust that new track out because it's actually turning a bit. So it's going to be off to the northeast now at around 25 miles per hour. Let me draw that out a little bit better than what we got. It's definitely taking a northeasterly turn there. I may have to adjust the track again. I think it might be just a little bit off, but it gives you a general direction there. Going right toward the Grant area, off to the northeast rather. Also, we'll move into the Woodville area in Jackson County shortly. Intense little cell there, about to impact Grant. Of course, move up around Woodville areas here pretty shortly. So if you're in Woodville and Jackson County, be looking out for that. Station 28 Skywarn wanted to advise if you're in Jackson County around Woodville, be watching this storm. It is moving off to the northeast or north-northeast. It looks like it's trying to make a little bit of a turn there, going right toward Grant potentially. Looks like it's going to go right toward the Grant area, and then Woodville and Jackson County. Station 28 clear.
Ten four.
All right, so my track is just slightly off. I was watching it on the radar. It's
We
moving.
just had rain here, maybe just for maybe 10-15 minutes, and it stopped. It looks like it's moving northeast, if I'm correct. In Marshall County, move out.
Roger, where's your location? So the good news, I have not seen 60 miles per hour on the wind gust. Does that mean it's not capable of it? I mean, no, it can still produce it. But I am still watching it strengthen. Looks like the winds are right on top of Grant, and this thing is continuing to strengthen. I can tell you that by the lightning strike showing up on it. It's trying to strengthen again. Looks like right over Grant, some high winds. But I don't see 60 miles per hour. But what I do see is the potential for some larger hail with it. There is definitely some larger hail with it. The hail core just to the west of Grant, and it has strengthened up. That hail core is literally just barely missing Grant just to the west. So you're probably still getting some hail, but that's a pretty good size hail core there. Some nice, definitely some nice hail there. And we got a special weather statement out for DeKalb County now. Station 28 Skywarn update. Looks like we got a special weather statement out tracking a strong thunderstorm near Geraldine. That's in DeKalb County, or 8 miles northeast of Albertville. It's moving north at 15 miles per hour. Wind gusts of 40 miles per hour or greater, and nickel-size hail. Areas impacted: Dutton, Langston, Geraldine, Lakeview, Hopewell, Section, Scottsboro, Columbus City, Lake Gunnersville State Park, and Hustleville. Station 28 clear, 446. This one's got an interesting hail core. Definitely some quarter-size hail in there. Just to the west of Grant. There is some broad rotation with this cell.
Between Gunnersville and Lakeview, traveling pretty much north. So right up kind of the county line there on that edge. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. There's a little bit of near severe stuff east of Gunnersville from that between Gunnersville and Langston. This is Katie 4BJ Next Troll looking for additional check-ins or significant weather reports.
Yes, there is some broad rotation with that cell, so I do want to point that out. Right over Grant, or just to the northwest of Grant, we do have some broad rotation showing up on the radar. Very broad stuff, not tightened up or anything like that, but there is some rotation there showing up, I'm noting, on the radar here. Station 28 Skywarn also want to advise around the Grant area, there is some broad rotation showing up. Very broad rotation at this point. Not anything tightening up or anything strengthening yet, so we'll keep an eye on it. So anybody got any reports out of the Grant area? Are you seeing anything weird lowering down on that side of the storm?
This Marshall County area, how's that looking on the radar?
Severe thunderstorm warning for the northern portion of Marshall County and northwest, I believe, going into Jackson County. All right, so far, storm's been behaving itself with rotation-wise, but it's still there, so we're going to keep watching it. Nice little inflow tail going on right here. That's what you're seeing with this little bitty tail, nice little inflow tail, and then you got your downdraft right here. So you got just a little bit
I just wanted to make sure
of
so I was
rotation
able to
here.
go out for like a bit of a walk or something that would be in the clear. Is that correct?
I would probably wait a little while considering all the thunder and lightning around. There is still storms off to the west of you, or I'm sorry, east. So, yeah, you might want to just watch out. There's still a lot of them out there. Where in the world did my radar thing go at? It looks like it disappeared. All right, so there's that little area. There's that little area I was talking about with some broad rotation. Let me get the track cleared off. You can see it pretty well right here. Nice little inflow going on there. Let me get that tool to go away. So nice little inflow going on here, and then you've got all the hail falling here. Nice little downdraft. That's a little bit of rotation there we're watching. We'll keep an eye on it. Of course, if you spot something that we're not talking about and you think it's a tornado, especially around Grant near Woodall Place, of course, take shelter if that's what you think it is. And, as we are seeing rotation, broad rotation with it rather, but it's definitely there. No, we wasn't supposed to have any tornadoes, but as I've said, this time of year is just unpredictable. I mean, we wasn't supposed to have any tornadoes either on the day that we had one touch down. There was no chance of a tornado at all. So you just really have to pay attention to this stuff this time of year. We'll back out and look at it through another radar. Doing good, Isaiah. How are you doing? Jackson, so it's going to be 45.
SK4B to control, Marshall County Sky 1 version. We are under severe thunderstorm warning at this time. The thunderstorm warning continues for another 38 minutes. This storm has had the radar indicated hail of 1 inch in diameter. It is really close to the.
It's north of Grant now, so just an FYI.
Part of the cell is there's another cell tracking up the east part of the county, but it's not currently severe limits, but it could be producing some hail and have near severe winds just above. Looking for any significant weather reports or additional check-ins. KD4B to the control.
Stage 28 Skywarn update 452. Just advise that the storm is now north of Grant, kind of along the county line. The hail, definitely the hail core has fell out on it a good bit, but it's still got some embedded hail on it as it's entering into Jackson County. Looks like it's going to go very close in between Woodville and the Spelled area. Sorry, I had to take a glucose there. Stage 28, 4:53 p.m. clear.
John 4.
Yeah, my sugar decided to drop. I started getting confused there for a minute, so I'm feeling kind of hot, so sweaty. So I was like, yep, before it gets started too bad, time to take a glucose. Thanks, Goosebump Weather Watchers. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm actually the owner operator of this group, or team. So glad to be able to do that. Doing good, Isaiah. Glad to see that. Other than my sugar dropping out all of a sudden, I'm doing okay. Hopefully it'll pick up pretty quick. I took a half of glucose, so I hope it does pick up pretty quick. If it don't, I'm going to be in trouble here in a minute. Yeah, my sugar left the bottom out. All I've had is a banana today, so that's probably why. Thunder and rain in 5. It is currently north of Grant right now. So it is, if you're in Grant, it is now to the north of you. And it is continuing to weaken. Just now getting over Woodville. Looks like some of that hail. Let me get my secondary scanner up here. Looks like that hail core now is going to be really close. It's kind of in between the Woodville and Espell area. They're in the middle. So let me get my other radar up real quick. So it looks like it is just to the east of Woodville. In between, looks like it's crossing, I believe that is Highway 72, kind of like close to just almost close to the middle of the highway there, between Woodville and Espell. It's moving off to the northeast. Looks like the next in line, Espell, you're going to get some heavy wind and rain from this. Wouldn't be surprised at all if this cell's doing what I believe it's doing. Let me have a look at it. And that is the wrong velocity scan. There we go. And I do note some more rotation in it. Broad rotation still showing up just to the north of Woodall Place. Very small area, but there's definitely some rotation there with that. It needs to be watched carefully. And let me turn this traffic down on here so it's not blasting over the radio waves here, or over the air. Okay. So anybody seeing anything in Marshall County? Like maybe, let's say you would have to be near Grant, looking to the north. If you could see it, you should see a lowering there, just to the north. Now, of course, that is the velocity, so let me pull it up. Yeah, I still see some rotation there with that. It's not very strong, but it's there. It literally is just to the west of Swearingen. Oh, didn't mean for that to happen. Stand by, everybody. Let me get that back up. Looks like it crashed. Okay, we're back up. If you were able to get a photo or you see anything, let me know. There is a kind of an unorganized area of rotation there. It's not strong. It's there. It's a bit of an odd signature there on one of my scans here. Let me take a look at that. It is an interesting looking little signature there on that scan, right where the rotation's at. But I don't believe it's strong enough to be touching down or anything, so it's kind of strange. Yeah, there's definitely not much rotation there at all with it, but that's an odd scan. Could be a false one. But that's a strange little scan there. I'll keep an eye on that. Like I said, it could be a false one. More than likely that is, because it kind of looks strange. So I'm gonna just watch it. I don't think it's nothing really.
Still under severe thunderstorm warning for parts of the northern edge of the county. The severe thunderstorm warning will expire in 30
Yeah, it's really weak stuff.
The bulk of the storm that the warning is related to is right on the North County
And that's the signature I'm referring to right there. As you see, there could be some something going on. We're going to watch it. Okay, it's gone out of that scan. So, okay.
Stay weather aware. This is KD4 beaches and next trouble with traditional check-ins or significant weather reports.
That was kind of weird. But it did go away out of the second scan, which I've seen that happen before, and it be something. Hopefully it wasn't anything. It is a very odd signature going on, I'll admit. Now it's just not looking very organized at all on this scan here. So, I mean, we ain't getting reports of anything yet. So, that's kind of, that's really good. But it definitely tried to do something there at one point. I know that by being able to look at the way it looked on those last scans there, it tried.
Mom is going to be a great mom to
Yeah, most likely that was absolutely nothing. So just looking at it on it one more time. Yeah, I'm not thinking it was anything. So that is good. You have to look at them a couple times sometimes because they can confuse you just a bit. But that warning now still in effect. Looks like it's now literally right in the middle, going toward kind of a spell at this point. So you're about to get some high outflow winds, a little bit of a bow going on there. There was, some area of really, really broad rotation now. I don't even know if I'd call that rotation, to be honest. It's such a mess now. I would say some high winds, gusty to high winds going toward a spell at this point. Also, this area here near Paint Rock with some gusty winds came through, and a big batch of gusty winds now that passed Gurley, kind of toward Maysville, Ryland, and looks like that would be the Chase area there, going up into Huntsville. We still have some thunderstorm activity, looks like, going toward Collinsville, just some scattered stuff out there. Special weather statement still in place for the Langston area. And that is the one that was in effect for DeKalb County. It was near Geraldine, northeast of Albertville. Of course, that's to the north of that now. So Langston, you're just now getting into some of that in a spell. You're about to have a ton of rain and wind coming your way. So my high-resolution models indicated, I believe I said anywhere between 6 and 8 o'clock. So when all this would come through, so it was only an hour off. So that's not too bad. It was hailing. Okay, you're in Swearingen. What size hail was it? I appreciate it, Janice. Yeah, I know when my sugar's dropping because my vision gets really blurry and I start getting really kind of, I guess, I'm cold to the touch, but yet I'm hot. I'm burning up and I start getting confused. Looking at stuff, I get confused and my words get confused. And yeah, so I knew when that was happening, I took it. So that's awesome, Goose Pond Weather Watcher. I appreciate you watching. Most definitely. Good to see you on. I really appreciate it. And I will go eat something after this clears off, okay? Because I know it's just going to drop again. This is just going to keep it up long enough to get this live stream done. When we get these storms out of here, then I'll definitely go find something. Okay, warning has been canceled on that storm for Jackson County. There is a special weather statement in place, but it has completely fell apart. All we have is a strong thunderstorm now. Special weather statement has been put out at 5:03 1 minute ago. Radar indicating a strong thunderstorm near Woodville, or 9 miles west of Scottsboro, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. And also, I need to correct that text really quick. Okay, where was I? Sorry. Got a little bit off track there. Looks like the area is impacted by that. With, of course, wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour or greater, and nickel-sized hail. Areas impacted would be Skyline, Princeton, Limrock, Estill Fork, Woodville, High Top, Arkin, Francisco, Pleasant Groves, and Trenton.
Checking up on the severe weather here. The current severe thunderstorm warning has
This is Station 28 Skywarn. The warning for Marshall and Jackson County has been canceled. However, there is some strong thunderstorms still out there. Station 28 clear 505.
So with that being said, we will go ahead and suspend the net at this time. Do keep in mind that the weather could become active at any moment, may affect your particular location. This is KD4BJ. I thank everybody who did participate. But I'm going to close the net down here at 5:06 local time. KD4BJ.
Okay. All right, everybody, and I'm going to do the same. I'll be back here watching it. Going to go find something to eat before my sugar starts acting up even worse than what it is. So keep in mind there is some strong thunderstorms moving through the area. If you're around Scottsboro to the north, around High Top, Stevenson, Bridgeport, even DeKalb County, Rainsville, Sylvania, Henniger, Ider, Shiloh, Valley Head, all them areas, there's some strong thunderstorms moving through. They are below severe limits, though. So going to get out of here. Thanks again. God bless. And, of course, if you enjoyed the stream, you'd like to support us, there's a way you can do that. Cash App, DeKalb CWX, and also by sharing and liking on Facebook. So God bless. We'll keep you updated on the weather situation. Thanks again, everybody.